Hello, all you film freaks and movie maniacs out there. My name is Nolan Carr, and I'd like to welcome you to the go-to podcast for all things cinema. But before you can ask any questions, just sit back, relax, as I present to you a Strawlane Studio Productions Critiquing with Carr. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 5 of Critiquing with Carr. And I believe, if my memory serves me correct, this is now the third edition of Memorable Movie Mondays. And as you can tell, I got a haircut, not just because we have some great movies to review coming up on the channel, but because I needed one. But that's neither here nor there, because this channel isn't about haircuts, in my opinion. It's about these great movies that I have to review for you all out there, either if you're listening or viewing or both. Speaking of great movies, we have a great one for you today on this very wonderful Monday, wherever you are. Hope it's great. And the film is 12 Angry Men. And no, not one of those made during the George Clooney era, but with Henry the Legend Fonda himself in 1957. What a great movie this is from start to finish. Although it's in black and white, it still is an exceptional piece of cinema history. But before I go into further details, as you know, there are many more things we have to discuss. Without further ado, let's begin with this review of 12 Angry Men. Even though in some of the reviews I've recently done, some of the directors, such as Francis Ford Coppola and even Christopher Nolan, have pulled not just singular or double duty, but even triple duty to some extent, and even quadruple duty for Christopher Nolan in Dark Knight. It's not the case with this film, as Sidney Lumet is only the director. However, Reginald Rose pulls triple duty because he is the screenwriter of this film, he is one of the two producers along with Henry Fonda for this film, and he is the one who created the story that this film is based off of from his 1954 teleplay for Studio One called 12 Angry Men. Now, in terms of a cast, there are so many great actors in this film, and you may even recognize them from other pieces. I know Jack Warden, who's one of the jurors in this film, was in Dirty Work, the late great Norm Macdonald, and Bob Saget. The judge in this film was also in Godfather 1. And if I'm not mistaken, Martin Balsam, if that's his name, I'm correctly pronouncing it, was also in Death Wish 3 with Charles Bronson. And there's many other great actors in this who are in other productions as well. Never mind that, let's go into the cast and directly say who was playing who in this film. Starting out with this all-star cast is Martin Balsam as Juror 1, who's the jury foreman, John Fiedler as Jury 2, a meek, non-pretentious bank teller who is easily flustered, eventually stands up for himself, E.J. Cobb as Juror 3, a hot-tempered owner of a courier business who is estranged from his son, most passionate advocate for a guilty verdict, E.G. Marshall as Juror 4, an unflappable, conscientious, and analytical stockbroker who is concerned only with facts, not opinions. Jack Klugman as Juror 5, a Baltimore Orioles fan who grew up in a violent slum and sensitive to bigotry towards slum kids. Edward Binns as Juror 6, a tough but principled and courteous house painter who objects to others, especially the elderly, being verbally abused. Jack Warden as Juror 7, a wisecracking salesman who is more concerned about the Yankees game he's missing than the case. Henry Fonda as Juror 8, and Davis, a humane justice-seeking architect and father of 3, initially the only one to question the evidence and vote not guilty. Joseph Sweeney as Juror 9, and McCradle, a thoughtful, intelligent elderly man who is highly observant of the witnesses' behaviors and their possible motivations. Ed Begley as Juror 10, a pushy, loud-mouthed garage owner who is bigoted toward slum life people. George Voskovic as Juror 11, a polite European watchmaker and naturalized American citizen who demonstrates strong respect for democratic values such as due process. Robert Webber as Juror 12, an indecisive and easily distracted advertising executive. Rudy Bond as the judge. Tom Gorman as the stenographer. James Kelly as the bailiff. Billy Nelson as the court clerk. John Savoca as the defendant. And Walter Stalker as man waiting for elevator. The cinematographer is Boris Kaufman. This film was edited by Carl Lerner. The music was done by Kenyon Hopkins. The production company was Orion Nova Productions. It was distributed by United Artists, and it was released on April 10th of 1957 at the Fox Wilshire Theater. It has a runtime of 96 minutes, which is just over an hour and 30 minutes. The budget was $337,500, and from rentals, the gross was $2 million. Now it comes time to one of my more enjoyable parts of these reviews that I haven't done recently, a few of them, just because sometimes it takes up a lot of time and space when I'm exporting it and I want to get the episodes out immediately for you all to tune into both visually and audio wise. But nevertheless, here they are again. In terms of awards, this film was both nominated and won several of the big ticket items this award season in 1957. In the year of this film's release, this movie was the winner of several awards that it was nominated for, as well as not a winner. And they are as follows. At the Academy Awards, it was nominated for Best Picture. It was also nominated for Best Director for Sidney Lumet. Reginald Rose was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Lee J. Cobb was nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role. And Boris Kaufman was nominated for Best Cinematography, Black and White. At the BAFTA Awards, it was nominated for Best Film from Any Source, and Henry Fonda was nominated for Best Foreign Actor. At the Director Guild of America Awards, Sidney Lumet was nominated for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures. At the Golden Globes, it was nominated for Best Motion Picture for a Drama, and it was nominated for Best Director in a Motion Picture for Sidney Lumet. At the National Board of Review, Sidney Lumet won Best Directorial Debut. At the Writers Guild of America Awards, Reginald Rose was nominated for Best Written American Drama. At the Berlin International Film Festival, it won the Golden Bear for Best Film Award. At the Blue Ribbon Awards in Japan, it won the Best Foreign Language Film Award. At the Edgar Allan Poe Awards, it won the Edgar Award for Best Motion Picture Screenplay for Reginald Rose. At the Italian National Syndicate of Film Journalists, Sidney Lumet was nominated for the Silver Ribbon Award for Best Foreign Director. At the New York Film Critics Circle Awards, Sidney Lumet won Best Director. At the American Film Institute Awards, it was receiver of several nominations such as the AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies, number 88 on the AFI's 100 Years, 100 Thrills, juror number 8 as the 28th hero on the AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains list, number 42 on the 100 Years, 100 Cheers AFI's list, number 87 on the 10th anniversary of the AFI's 100 Year, 100 Movies list, and the number 2 courtroom drama film on AFI's 10 Top 10 list. Now what I will discuss is the top 10 list of highest-grossing films that this film was in competition against that year. And they are as follows. Coming at number 10 was I Was a Teenage Werewolf. It was distributed by American International Pictures. It grossed $2 million, and Michael Landon was the lead. Coming at number 9 was Les Girls, distributed by Metro Goldwyn Mayer. It made $2.7 million, and the lead actor was Gene Kelly. Coming at number 8 was Jailhouse Rock. It was distributed by Metro Goldwyn Mayer as well. It made $4 million. Elvis Presley was the lead actor. Coming at number 7 was Island in the Sun. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox. It made $8 million, and James Mason was the lead actor. Coming at number 6 was The Pride and the Passion. It was distributed by United Artists. It made $8.75 million, and Cary Grant was the lead actor. Coming at number 5 was A Farewell to Arms. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox as well. It made $11 million, the lead actor being Rock Hudson. Coming at number 4 was Gunfight at the OK Corral. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. It made $11.75 million, and the lead actor was Burt Lancaster. Coming at number 3 was Pay and Place. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox as well. It made $25.6 million, and the lead actor was Lee Phillips. Coming at number 2 was Sayonara. It was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. It made $26.3 million, and Marlon Brando was the lead actor. And coming at number 1 on the top 10 highest grossing film list of 1957 was The Bridge on the River Kwai. It was distributed by Sony Pictures. It made $33.3 million. The lead actor was Sir Alec Guinness. Now, I know I just mentioned that that was one of my favorite sections, but now we're really in my favorite section of these reviews, and it's my like and dislike section. And what I do now is say what I liked about the film, what I disliked about the film, and then give my final review out of 10 Diamond Days. And now it becomes your choice afterwards if you want to see this film or not after my review. 12 Angry Men, directed by Sidney Lumet, stands as a timeless masterpiece that takes its audience on an emotional roller coaster within the confines of a claustrophobic jury room. Released in 1957, the film weaves a tapestry of human intricacies, legal complexities, and societal prejudices, creating an immersive experience that transcends its black and white cinematography. One of the things I really liked about this film was the dynamic atmosphere and visual impact. The film ingeniously navigates between the upbeat and normal exterior of the courtroom to the deadly serious and quiet interior during the case. This dynamic shift adds layers of tension, emphasizing the gravity of the decisions these 12 men must make. The cinematography's monochrome choice, while adding an element of simplicity, raises intriguing questions about how color might have further enhanced the viewing experience. One of the things I also liked about the film was the subtle messages and emotional resonance in the movie. A subtle but powerful element lies in the innocence reflected on the boy's face, silently observing 12 random men deciding his fate. This poignant moment captures the core theme of the film, emphasizing the weight of their decisions on an individual's life. The third thing I liked about this film was the intellectual brilliance and convincing narration. Henry Fonda's character, Davis, emerges as the intellectual powerhouse, methodically presenting reasoning for a not guilty verdict. His ability to disarm every rebuttal thrown at him showcases brilliance, drawing unparallels with Ed Begley in Juror Number 3. The fourth thing I liked about this film was the character complexity and prejudices that were exposed in the movie. The character depth and acting prowess of Juror 3 added a layer of emotional complexity. Starting as detail oriented, he evolves into a prejudiced figure grappling with control issues. His steadfast adherence to his beliefs, even in the face of opposition, is admirable. And the final thing I liked about this movie was the compassion and missed resolution. As the intense discussion unfolds, Davis's compassion for juror number 3 after the emotional ordeal highlights the humane side of justice. This subtle touch adds layers of humanity to the resolution. Now, although our time together was really quick and brief and we zoomed through this review, we still have enough time for my final review and thoughts. 12 Angry Men stands tall as one of the greatest films of all time, balancing dialogue, action, and drama. The narrative unfolds seamlessly. The all-star cast, including stand-up performances by Fonda, creates a synergy that elevates the movie. The film's perfect length is tailored to the compelling story it tells, prompting introspection into individual decision-making and ethical considerations. In conclusion, 12 Angry Men is a cinematic gem that transcends its era, urging viewers to reflect on societal norms, justice, and the complexities of the human psyche. A compelling narrative, stellar performances, and the lasting impact it leaves make it a must-watch for audiences, earning its well-deserved 10 out of 10 Diamond Daves. This film has undoubtedly etched its name in the annals of cinematic brilliance with this enduring classic. And with that, I simply say this. If you've enjoyed this Movie Mondays review of 12 Angry Men, do us a favor by subscribing to the podcast on both visual and audio platforms, leaving a like or clicking that heart button, turning on post notifications so you're updated with new updates regarding future episodes of the show, as well as sharing this episode with your friends and family so you can help continue to grow this program. If you want more news and updates regarding the show, follow on Instagram at Critiquing with Carr. And until next time we see each other at the theater again, take care, my cinephiles and film freaks.